Hey, aloha, and welcome Embers Rising. I'm your host, Wendy J, and I'm super fired up that you're with me today. You know, just as the smallest ember has the potential to start a roaring fire, within each of us lies a spark waiting to illuminate our deepest dreams and aspirations. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So whether you lost your way or seeking fuel for a dream that's burning bright, you're in the right place, because together we're going to fan those flames. We're going to breathe life into the dormant hopes and ignite a path forward together. So dear listeners, gather around, for it's time to light your inner fire rise. Let's dive in. All right, let's dive into dreams. Life is so much about who we are becoming and the dreams that we are delivering and bringing life to those dreams. And I want to talk about life-defining moments that you can reinvent yourself to make your dreams come true. And so many of you may be at a crossroads right now in this personal evolution, and you're looking at these moments of thinking, how am I going to reshape my life? Or do I need to reshape my life to create a dream? For me, this podcast creation is a dream right now. I had thought of doing this years ago, 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago. I thought of doing a podcast. I remember working for one of my clients in Maui and walking down the stairwell. And I remember in my back of my head said, one day I'm going to have a podcast, and then one day I'm going to start that thing. But I had not started that dream. So let's talk about some life-defining moments, because I think that's so important. And, you know, when we think about our stories and the stories that we continue to live and move through, I want to share, if you don't know who I am or my story of moving to Hawaii and making Hawaii part of my life and reinventing myself, I want to share a little bit of that, because that was a dream of mine to live in Hawaii. And the way that I made that dream come true, that particular dream, was I surrounded myself with the things that I felt that I could imagine being around Hawaii. So things like, in my bedroom at the time, I had posters all of Hawaii. In the summer, I would get one of those kid plastic pools and stick it out on the patio with my lawn chair and imagine myself sitting in Hawaii at a resort pool. And I didn't have any money to actually go to Hawaii or make this dream come true, but I would go online and I would look for jobs, and I would look for places to live. And I would imagine, what island would I want to be on? You know, there's so many different islands. You know, every island has a different vibe, a different community, a different vibrancy. So moving to Hawaii for me only came true because I continued to put that thought and that dream in the forefront of my mind. And there were so many things that came into my life to try to crush that dream, but I continued moving it forward. And I eventually ended up getting to Hawaii and then starting my journey. And I want to talk about that, because when you make the dream happen, you know, sometimes the dream doesn't have to be this big thing. It can just be a little thing. For me, it was a big transition to move somewhere different, clear across the ocean, move to, you know, a rock floating out there, a volcano rock. Where am I going to live? I don't even know anyone there. How am I going to make it? What is it going to look like? Will I be accepted in the community? How do I be part of the community? All those things were going through my mind, but I took the little steps to make, and I started the process of reinventing myself. And I think when we talk about reinventing yourself, you're talking about reinventing yourself in your dream, right? And I'm talking about the dream, like the dream that you're dreaming of that's been put on the back burner, that you really just haven't gone for, or that you've lost, or that you don't even know that you did have at some point. There was a dream there as a kid, as growing up, but someone along the way, or maybe yourself, gave you so many excuses in front of you that you've not gone for your dream. And I think when you reinvent yourself in spaces of time frames in life, you're always working on a new dream. So for me, when I got married, I knew I needed to reinvent myself, my dream as a better wife, a new wife. I had never been a wife before. Or I needed to reinvent myself as a business partner with David. You know, how was I actually going to have working relationship with David and then also have our personal life together? I needed to reinvent myself with personal development leaders, use them as part of my redevelopment of myself, of how I was going to reinvent myself towards my dreams. Reinventing myself with incredible mentors like Brendon Burchard Burchard, who's a widely recognized high performance coach, motivational speaker, and best-selling author. He wrote books like The Motivation Manifesto, High Performance Habits. Love that book. Life's Golden Ticket. He also is the founder of Growth Day. So if you don't know who he is, go check him out. He's incredible and a big piece of my life still today. I'm constantly learning and chasing dreams. And, so many things have led me to where I'm at today. In fact, finding a meditation course clear back then, maybe 10 years ago, I found a meditation course that led me to a group called Mindvalley University. Mindvalley was founded by Vishen Lakhiani, and we had the chance to hang out with him. He's really incredible. He focuses on personal growth, self-development through online courses, learning experiences, and events. So the company Mindvalley really collaborates with a lot of authors, speakers, thought leaders in the personal development space to create incredible courses and experiences. So Mindvalley is also kind of where David and I really grew and reinvented ourselves as a couple through a lot of their programs, especially one that stands out to me is Lifebook by John and Missy Butcher. So check those out if you are inclined to have a spark an interest there. But dreams are a space where we have got to be led to the lily pad to get to the next step to do the thing, right? So I want to talk about the reason I'm going down this rabbit hole is because I really feel that if we don't allow ourselves to think about our defining moments and where we're at, we have to not give ourselves the excuses anymore, the dream killers, right? So before we dive into that, I want to also share that reinventing myself and those dreams and leading myself to this podcast today came from all those little lily pads leading up to at this moment, right? Being in Hawaii, working with personal development leaders, hiring coaches, going to marketing events, growing my personal development with David. Going to marketing events opened huge doors for me to access coaches and mentors and build more incredible relationships. Like, let's see, we worked with Anthony Trucks, who's all about identity shifts and just really moving your identity in a totally different space. Oh my gosh, a big shout out to Anthony. He's just such a huge inspiration. Loved working with him. Bo Eason, Dr. Daniel and Tana Amon, we met them. Oh my gosh, it's incredible people. All these relationships end up leading me to Sun Yi. And then here we are today. I'm starting a video podcast. So all these little lily pads that I've kept going, even though I've had setbacks and I've traded a lot that didn't get me to my dream faster, it eventually led me back to the core thing that I told you that I wanted to do 10 years ago, right? Was I wanted to have a podcast, but I self-doubted myself. I didn't know how to get started. I didn't really know what to do. So I just put it on the back burner. It was like, one day I'll get to it, right? So that's a dream killer, right? And I want to talk about dream killers and kind of how you can revive those dreams, because isn't it true that we often dim our own dreams? I mean, if you want to make something of yourself, you have to stop making excuses for why you can't do something and start making reasons why you can. You want to put your energy into dreams and get really honest about what you want out of life. It's the only way to make your dreams come true. So here's 3 ways you're pouring cold water and putting the embers out on your dreams every day. Number 1, you're downplaying your dreams. You're putting the embers out by downplaying the dreams because you're not making them important. Number 2, you're making excuses. You're too old. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next year. And number 3, you're terrified. You allow yourself to feel the desire. You allow yourself to feel possibility, but you're not actually going all in. Let's think about the opposite of that. Let's think about fanning the flames. Because what if you imagined yourself allowing yourself to dream? What if the dream was acting in a film, standing on stage singing, being the best mother, being the best teacher, being the best sister, starting the new job, building something that you never thought was possible, being the best content creator, being the best podcaster in the world? If you just imagined yourself and gave yourself the opportunity to dream what it would be like to step into that dream. What if your mindset was, what if it worked out? That's important. Let's talk about how to keep dreams alive. That to me is so important because most of our dreams are in the background, but we've put everything in the front more important than the background, which is the thing that's driving our whole ember of life, right? I mean, because we are energy, we're a spark of light. We are here making this happen in this world. We are standing on 2 feet, breathing this life energy force. And there's a reason why we're here. How do you keep these dreams alive? You have to allow yourself to dream. I remember earlier this year, I was warming up at a physical therapy office working on my torn hamstring and looking out of the blue turf. And a group of people were standing there building a big name show that was coming in for the weekend. And I was watching them through the window, put up tent booths and gates and security checks. And I said to myself, as I was warming up on this treadmill, I wish that was me. And then I asked myself why. The reason was because I had committed to someone else's dream. It wasn't in alignment with my dreams at the time. I had given up my own dreams, putting them on pause once again, thinking that paycheck to paycheck, I would get closer, but I was wrong. No one was going to save me. Like no one is coming to save you. What I had to do was look inwards and ask myself, what do I want to do? What is it that I want to really create? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to be remembered for? Those are the same questions you've got to ask yourself to allow yourself to dream, to actually go for the dream. You have to know what you want. So that's when I realized that in order to go for my dream, I had to write a different story and I had to make something better of myself. I had to allow myself to dream. I had been so caught up in the thing that I was doing and I'd been so busy, kept myself going and going on a very strict structured schedule. I had forgotten about my dreams. They were there. I had just not put time and energy into it. It has to come from you. For me, it has to come from me, only me. It has to come from you, only you. I had to take the initiative and make the first move in order to make something better. So don't be afraid to dream. Allow yourself to dream, to take the initiative to make something better for yourself. It will be worth it in the end. That's the most important. There's a tool that I learned from Mel Robbins that helps connect you with your dreams. If you're listening to this or watching this and you're like, I had dreams, I don't have dreams anymore. So I'm not sure what dream I want to go after. Or maybe the dream, but you just still haven't put time and energy into it, or you haven't connected with your dreams. So I want to share this tool because you first have to tap back into your dreams. You have to remember what your dreams are and what they could become, right? So Mel Robbins uses this tool to reconnect dreams, and it involves writing down 5 dreams every day as part of your morning routine. This is important. These dreams can be the same dreams. They can be different on each day. They can be big dreams. They can be small dreams. The goal is to clear out the fog between your heart and your soul, to stop the self-doubt and the people-pleasing, to get to a place of being happy, healthy, healing, and delivering to the world yourself and your dream, to bring life to the dream that lives inside you. So why does writing down these things matter? How does this affect our dream? There is science-backed data that suggests that the Zeigarnik Effect is a tool that's been used to help the brain accomplish the goal. The Zeigarnik Effect was discovered by a psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik, which states that the brain has a mental checklist function that helps remember the unfinished tasks. So the effect is so powerful that it's used in software performance, such as gaming, to motivate you to keep going. So, the bar that you get that says you're 60% done with this, you're 70%, made it this far. It's giving yourself this goal to work towards, right? Because it's triggering you to like, oh, I'm almost got it. I'm almost there. This is how the brain works to help us remember and complete important tasks. So you see, if writing your dream down and you're writing 5 dreams a day, big or small, you're now triggering your brain to take the action of those dreams. You're not programming yourself if you're not writing those things down. You have to program your new software, just like the gaming function, to shift your actions into gear and actually start doing the thing that's going to get you to the dream. That's how powerful this is. When I was waking up and life was happening to me, I wasn't writing down my dreams. I was just waking up and going to the job and getting back and feeling tired and doing the next day. And even when I had gone into spaces of long periods of doing really intense meditation, courses, programs, I still wasn't writing down my dreams. I was envisioning it in my mind, but it was the next step that actually got me to the thing. So great story. When I was imagining my soulmate out there, my twin flame out there, I took out a piece of paper and I wrote specifically everything down that I could imagine in my soulmate. However, I didn't give it a time frame. So I wrote things down like I would love a guy who looks great in the old 501 jeans with a button fly. I would love a guy who could go horseback riding with me in the mountains of Colorado, who could surf with me on the waves of Hawaii, who could join me on incredible mountain bike rides, who could travel with me to incredible destinations around the world. I would love a guy that would be about the same height, the same energy, the same vibrancy, personality traits were the same. He likes the color blue. That's how specific I got. Anyway, I wrote this list and I stuck it to the back of my door in Hawaii when I was living on the North Shore of Maui. And I stuck it on that door and I looked at it every day that I went out the door. I didn't give it a time frame, right? I did not give it a time frame. But the point is that I wrote down the dream. I wrote down the dream. I gave it life because that is the one thing that I thought would be helpful to have in my life, soulmate, if it were in my journey to have that. I also wrote down, and I don't know if you remember this story I had shared early about moving to Hawaii, the place that I wanted to imagine living, right? So I was living in on the floor of a garage, a rented garage. Actually, it was a garage that was shared. So the half of the garage was actually a real car garage. There was a car on the other side of the wall. The other side of the wall was my ohana that I had rented, and with cold water, no hot water, with gas that you have to go buy your own propane tank just to cook. The place was so small that I had to use a blown up air mattress, and I had to, inflate it every day and then deflate it every day because it was so small. There was only that much room to get around. I had set up my little office there. I was working full time. And it was the best that I could do. But I had a dream to get to be someone better because I was not on a very good, let's say, place on the island. I was kind of across the tracks, but it was safe. But it was, for me, I was uncomfortable. And I had dreamed of living somewhere else that had the magic of a washer and dryer where I didn't have to go to the laundromat, had hot water, had carpet possibly in a bedroom. It had air conditioning, all those things I had dreamed of. Then I wrote it down. Those things end up coming true for me. I remember another dream that I wrote down, talking about writing dreams down, how important this Zeigarnik effect really works. So when I wanted to go to film school, I wrote down all the film schools that I wanted to go to. And I wrote this on a journal. I had nowhere to hang it in my house. And so I put these journals on the floor and literally propped them up along the side of the wall. And I had all these different schools that I want to go to. And so I was going to go explore these schools and then choose a film school to actually go to. It ended up coming true and I chose the right one. I ended up going to New Mexico and do the film school there. And it was incredible. But the story is that it came true for a reason because I actually started making it happen by writing it down. I looked at it every day. Another thing that I love doing with dreams is not only writing it down in the morning. And first of all, I want to talk about the morning routine. You think, why can't I write it down at night? Because at night, you need to be resting your brain. In the morning is the time where you do the checklist, right? The day is going to unfold. You want to make sure you have the important things in your life rolling out, that you're hitting those pieces on your dream, because a lot of part diving into your dream is not easy. It's not like music in the background, you're walking on stage, everything's amazing. There's a lot of background work to make the dream happen that's quiet, that nobody's going to see, right? It's you sitting there, maybe composing that song or writing that music or rehearsing a script. Whatever it is, you are doing the background of that dream that you have. And that's important to know, but you're making the to-do list. That's why the morning routine is so important. Zeigarnik effect is important because you're unleashing that checklist for you to start doing every day. So I want us to be thinking about that. So we're reprogramming ourselves to be going towards our dreams, making that happen, because it's so important. And I like to say, you've got to use your challenges as your fuel. For me, sometimes you get caught up in a place where you're trading a lifestyle or a career for the dream, right? So many of us do that. And I'm like, well, if I did this for somebody else and help them become incredible to do what they want to do, then I'll eventually get to my dream. But how long is it going to take? You have to give yourself permission and take the first step, because what's worse than not doing it is spending the next 3 years, 5 years, 10, 20 years wishing you had done something. So let's go back to the basics of free flowing, from you your mind, the dreaming, and because it's so important. So put down a notebook at the breakfast table, open it up, put it down wherever you sit in the morning to have your coffee, your fasting drink, or maybe you go straight to the gym, bring that notebook with you. Or we have a home gym. Sometimes I leave my notebook on my home gym, or I'll leave it where I meditate. I'll just leave the book open and start talking about it. Make sure everybody in the family knows about your dreams. The goal is to give yourself permission. And then you have to ask yourself, when you have written the 5 dreams down. And by the way, you're saying like, okay, I turn the page and write the next day you wake up and write 5 more dreams. Yes, you do. You turn the page and you write 5 more dreams. It could be the exact same dreams, but hey, here's my dreams. I'm writing it down. Here's what's important to me. Like I said, it could be small, it could be big, could be a massive move, could be a big transition, could be a mix of big and small, could be the money you want to make this week, this day, could be whatever it is. Can be big or small. The goal here is to ask yourself this: are you for or against your dreams today? Because there's no middle ground. It's either yes or no. If it's a yes, you're all in and you're making micro steps every day to go for it. If it's a no, you're not allowing yourself. For me, this dream of a podcast was trusting in God and universe and all the pieces falling into place. This ember of my dream now is burning brighter for me. And I want to help you find your dream and have it burn brighter for you, because dreams matter so much more than ever these days. They always have. I mean, you give up a lifeline if you don't go after your dream. Every challenge you face right now is temporary. Every challenge you face, even if it's like, hey, I'm trading my life and career for something else, and it's a challenge, but it's also temporary because you've given yourself an excuse to not go after your dream. That's why this dream of yours is so important. The dream of mine to move to Hawaii and create a new business with my husband. There was a fire there. I wanted to follow that. And by the way, if people don't support you, they're not worth having around you. Your dreams are like a compass. They are the GPS of your sailboat in the ocean towards something greater. And you have to go for it. Your dreams are showing you something you can believe in. What matters is that you are fanning the flames to create more embers rising. Give your dreams a voice. Don't let anybody put your dreams down. People may not understand your dreams. So many people did not understand my dreams. Your dreams aren't meant for anybody else but you. Don't look for validation from others about your dreams. Just walk towards the dream. Wake up, work on it, and do the dream. You have to be the cheerleader for yourself. No matter how crazy the dream is, or that people don't believe in you to do it, or you don't have the money to do it, don't limit yourself. Start doing it every day. Don't limit yourself. It has nothing to do with money, because that's the first thing that comes to all of us. Remember my story of going to Hawaii? I didn't have any money to go to Hawaii. My sister bought me a one-way ticket to get me out of the depression that I was in and the suicidal thoughts that I was going through, to actually move somewhere else, change my perspective, and do something different. My dream was to be in Hawaii, and she knew that. So she helped me get there. And then I figured it out when I got there, right? To keep the dream alive. I was fanning my flames. I wanted to be here. How am I going to make it happen? What's my next dream? So don't limit yourself. Tap into what you desire. Give yourself permission. Say to yourself, I give myself permission to follow my dreams. I give myself permission to dream. I give myself permission to take the first step today. I give myself permission to keep going. I give myself permission to look back and celebrate the progress. I give myself permission to trust the process. I give myself permission to believe in myself and my dreams. You have to give yourself permission to take the risks, be brave. You have to give yourself permission to be true to yourself, to be true to your dream, to bring the dream alive, to see the bigger picture that maybe you haven't seen before, whatever that is for you. You have to give yourself permission to be open to the possibilities, to take the next necessary steps to making it happen. It's so important. Like for me, I think about the dreams that my family has had around me. My brother had a dream to go to Berklee College of Music, and my mother had a dream for him to stay at a local college. And I helped fan my brother's dream because he was an incredible musician. And I knew that he could fan his flame if he could get over to Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts. And I did everything I could financially to help him get to that school. I believed in him more than anybody else because I wanted to see him succeed so heavily in something that he believed in himself. And he didn't have a lot of support. He did go to that, by the way. But you have to give yourself permission to be vulnerable, face the fears about doing something, the thing that you want to do. Maybe it's opening that shop that you thought of down the road. Maybe it's starting a boutique online store. Maybe it's being the best content creator on YouTube. You have to be vulnerable. You have to give yourself to dream big and be fearless. You have to give yourself permission to take the time to figure out also really what you want to go for. You have to give yourself permission to be patient and stay focused. You have to give yourself permission to make mistakes and learn from them. And you have to give yourself permission to enjoy the journey. Be proud of your accomplishments, to become the best version of yourself in this dream that you're going to bring life to. So you have to give yourself permission to create the life you want and to live your best life. I believe in your dreams. I believe in what you want to do. No more excuses. We have to say no more excuses. And if you're feeling agitated and you're coming home feeling agitated and the conversation around your family or around yourself is everything victim mode, or I'm upset with XYZ, or this person did this, you are not in your dream. You are not in your dream. Don't dishonor yourself any longer. Honor the superhero inside of you and fan the flames of your dream embers. Your dreams are waiting to come alive and rise. That's what I love about this show, Embers Rising, because dreams are so much a part of all of us. And they are the embers that can rise if you just take the time to fan the flame and give them life. I really hope that this episode has brought you a piece of rekindling flame, that it has ignited some passion, some resilience, some hope back into your dreams. That's what I want you to feel when you are listening or watching this. Because remember, in the midst of life's challenges, you have the power to rise. Just as embers ascend from ashes, keep the fire alive, stay curious, continue fanning the flames of your dreams. These dreams matter. So keep these embers alive, dear listeners. It is so important. Listen, I'm Wendy J. Till next time, stay ignited, let your light shine brightly, and I will see you on the other side. Aloha.